Hey there! On the table is a vintage Victorinox 84mm Golfer, which is a pretty rare model, I think, but this one is rarer still because it has the long nail file on the back. And as a plus, it's wearing these gorgeous buffalo horn scales. So this is a really special knife, but it does have some problems. And we'll take a look at those in a moment and where they came from and how we might fix them. Now you probably know the Golfer as the predecessor to the Compact. It's a two-layer knife with scissors. But Victorinox does not make the Golfer model anymore, and as far as I know, they don't make any 84mm model with scissors anymore. Alright, so let's have a look at it. You can see the front scale here is just absolutely gorgeous. This piece has got a really nice pattern to it, and some pretty good luster too, so a little bit of sanding and wax will bring that right up. The backside is a little more dark brown, and under the corkscrew here on the corkscrew cutout you can see the damage I was talking about. This is the major problem with this knife, and it looks like something's been munching on that knife. Well, that's because something has. This knife has been attacked by boring beetles, and I don't mean Ringo and George. So you can look down in there and see it kind of looks like Swiss cheese holes. And there's a couple little holes here on the top edges. That's usually what you see on these horn scales, and that'll be easy to fill and take care of. This will be a little more challenging because there's a little fill to do there. I got curious about these beetles that do this damage, and so I did some research. I found a great old article in a knife magazine. I'll put the link in the description box below. But these little things are called dermestids, which is just another name for carpet beetles. And carpet beetles used to get in people's old wool carpets and munch on the sheep's hair, the wool. And as you probably know, horn is just modified hair. It's just like a big piece of hair. So they love this stuff too. Now you can see this knife has nickel silver liners there, and they'll need some cleaning. It's got the old style, more delicate 5-turn groove corkscrew. The exposed pins. Here's that long nail file I talked about. Now the two kinds of nail files is a narrow one and a broader one like you find on the Champions. This is the narrower one, and it's got a really sharp tip. And that got me thinking that this might serve two purposes. It might be a nail file, but this being the Golfer, maybe it's also a driver face cleaning tool. I don't know. Wenger's got the Golfer model that has that specific tool. It's a tool that's real sharp like that at the end, and it's designed to clear the mud and the grass from the grooves on the face of your driver. It's also got a nail file here on the back, so again, it could serve two purposes. You know, you wouldn't want to do both with it, for sure. There's not a lot of snap on this knife. Maybe some oiling and working it will bring that out. Let's take a look at the main blade. First the tank stamps. On this side, Swiss Cross and Army Swiss with the non-italicized letters. And then that along with the tank stamp on the other side, which is anoxid in the crossbow, and the anoxid a little bigger letters. That tells us, I think, that this knife is pre-1951. I think Victorinox used those tank stamps up to 1951. You can see the blade's got a lot of damage. It's got a lot of scratches. It just looks frosted. Yeah, it's got a really lousy edge, and the tip's kind of worn away. I feel pretty confident that I can put a sharp tip on that, sand those scratches out of there, and put a good edge on it. And so I think we can make that blade respectable. Now the Compact and the later Golfers would have the combo tool here. But they didn't have the combo tool back in the 40s, early 50s, so you have the small clip point blade. It's kind of scratched. It's going to need some polishing. It's got a little bend at the end of the tip. I'm not going to try to straighten that because it's too close to the tip. It might break. Here are the vintage scissors. They're really stiff to open, and I don't know why, maybe because the way the spring is set up underneath that nail file. But they've got the old single leaf spring there, screw pivot, and a couple of nail nicks, one on the body there and one on the blade of the scissors. That's pretty cool. Yeah, pretty stiff. Okay, well, I certainly have my work cut out for me. I'm going to get to work, and then we'll just take a little look at before and after.